when I see people like when I see Dr. Jeffrey Miller, who knows this shit, when I see probably, I don't know for sure, I'll give Destiny his due here. He probably knows this shit too. There's a reason why men are experience jealousy different than women do, because there's different opportunity costs that are lost between both those sexes, because we're both different. We're not equals. We're not one. And by the way, one's not necessarily superior over the other. Again, it comes back down to like, what's the challenge? What are we talking about? Who's going to achieve what? Some things women are better at. A lot of other things men are better at as well. Doesn't mean one's superior over the other. It just depends on what the task is that one sex has to do that the other cannot do. That's all it comes down to. It's not supremacism. It's not misogyny. It's not chauvinism. It's not, I don't know, patriarchy, whatever. No, it's just an understanding and a sober acknowledgement of what we are and how human nature works and how the human machine works. And the more we try to thwart it and the more we try to monkey around with shit with like mate guarding or jealousy, or the more trouble you're going to get yourself into. It's as simple as that. And it all comes down to your programming. I believe in egalitarian equality between the sexes. Oh, I can't believe that women or that men can't be just as good of fathers, or we don't earn the respect because we want to stay at home with our kids and serve a conventionally feminine role. Yeah, you're not going to get any respect for that because women don't respect you and men don't respect you. I wonder why that is. Is it because of our social understanding, our social learning, our social constructionism? No, it's the innate firmware that we've had since the time we were on the sub-Saharan African plains, savannas in Africa, right? It worked for your tribal, your hunter-gatherer ancestors, and you're still dealing with it today. It's a vestige, right? Well, maybe we shouldn't have that. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. Who's to say? But it seems to me that the success of our species, certainly that had some element and some contributed something to the success of us. So, if you want to say, well, and this is not Destiny, but I've read this conversation before when Dr. Jeffrey Miller was talking about, poly is only for very elite, erudite, intellectuals such as myself and Diana, because we understand the jealousy response and we're able to eroticize it. You want to know why cuckold porn is such a big niche? And go look at the stats on Pornhub, the Pornhub stats, not on actual Pornhub. The reason why it's such a big niche right now is because it is eroticizing a jealousy response that is conditioning men and women, by the way, to get off on women cuckolding other guys, cuckolding lesser men. That's why they get off, because the only way you can get around that firmware is by conditioning something, by getting a reward, getting an intrinsic reward. And if you can eroticize that, basically warning sign, hey, your bitch is having sex with somebody else and you're going to lose your investment in this woman. That's what the jealousy response is for. That's what mate guarding is for. If you ignore that and you get off on that, then you're essentially contributing to your own extinction. From a genetic evolutionary DNA perspective, you are contributing to your own extinction because your belief set is such that you don't care about your DNA. You don't care about your kids. You don't care about that. It all comes down to incentives. It all comes down to, are you going to condition yourself out of your innate understanding of like jealousy? Like, why is it that guys get jealous of women who, when they fuck some other guy, the first thing out of their mouth is, where did you do it? Was it in the kitchen? Does he have a bigger dick? Did you like it? Did you get off? All these very like visceral physical details. And most men are far more likely to dump that bitch. Where's it?
Dump that bitch.
To dump that bitch than women would when a guy goes out and he cheats. That's the difference. And people always say, like, well, if a man can cheat, or if a man can go out and fuck a bunch of hoes, then I should be able to. No, because you're not built that way. And your firmware is not that way. Women put way more emotional investment into the sex act than men do. That's why men get, you want to know why pornography is the most popular amongst men? It's because men can separate, if they have it at all, can separate an emotional investment in sex, whereas women cannot, because women have a higher reproduction cost. Simple as that. Very, very simple.